Hey YouTube, trying out something new here. This is my first Rumble Ramble. I'm just going to be talking while there's gameplay going on in the background. I think it's me fighting Klebe. Anyway, recently there was a new fighting game that released called A Few Quick Matches, and I've played it for a bit, but not too much. I think one of the most notable factors about it is that there is no shield mechanic. There's hardly any defense at all other than parrying. And I know another fighting game that's similar to that is Rivals of Aether. The first one, not the sequel, also has no shield mechanic and also has parrying. I think it's interesting to compare those to Rumble because it's actually very similar. I mean, in Rumble, you would think that there's defense, but really the defense is kind of lacking. I mean, you can summon structures to block other structures, but those can get broken so easily or sent back into you. There aren't really strong defensive mechanics. I think you can see the difference that this makes in other platform fighters like Super Smash Bros. Or Rivals of Aether 2. You have this rock, paper, scissors kind of triangle of gameplay between attack, defense, and movement, I guess. But in these other games, in A Few Quick Matches and Rivals of Aether 1 and Rumble, it's just attack and movement. I mean, you see top-level gameplay in Rumble, it's people are dashing around and throwing structures at each other. So I was thinking, adding a shield mechanic could be an interesting way to shake up the meta. Now, this would be a massive change. Looking at the way shields work in those platform fighters, it's a resource which recharges over time. They block all damage that would hit them, and they can let you counter hit the opponent. And the opponent can play around this with precise spacing or by using a move that specifically goes through shield, like grabbing, or baiting a bad out of shield option from you. I think the ability to counter hit with it is one of the most important things, but I can't imagine how that would translate to Rumble with the projectile combat since you tend to be pretty far away from your opponent. I think some kind of persistent shield would work the best. I think it should cover the front half of the player, so flick and explode plays can get behind it. And it should also not cover your top as well, so you can get hit from above. It should be breakable as well, so give it like 5 health, maybe. That number can be changed, but it would deplete over time while you're holding up the shield, and also when it gets hit, and it would slowly recharge. And then when it breaks, there's some kind of state you're put in where, you have a large period where you can't do anything and the opponent can just hit you. But yeah, if the health is, around 5, then you can really only block one structure before you have to wait for it to recharge, or you really risk breaking your shield and taking a ton of damage. I think the pose that Guard uses right now would work perfectly for it, and then what you could do with Guard is have it also use the same pose as Shield, but just have it put the Guard effect up in front of it, and have it work the exact same way. It just reduces one incoming damage, but you still get knockback, and so we keep all of the Guard tech, basically. That would make Guard a much more powerful stone because it saves 1 damage from hitting your shield. And that would also mean that Surge would get stronger because you could do more damage to shields. That would also let you get stronger shield break follow-ups. As for Sadament, I don't know if it would be better or worse, since you're given other defensive options. Sadament is mostly used, in my eyes, to shore up on people's lack of defense in the meta. Because you see people play super aggressively, and they have these defensive stones, so it balances out. And then, there's some questions you can answer, like, should you be able to shield in the air? Does using the shield make you stationary? If you could use it in the air, it would help against anti-airs. You could fly while shielding at someone. Or you could just dash jump at the opponent while shielding as a legitimate way to approach, which would be kind of funny. If this shield were to negate knockback, you could just dash shield as a sort of replacement for Stubborn. although it would be tied to a resource rather than something you can constantly use, so you have to be more careful and manage that. And then I guess you could combine Stubborn with that to just make it stronger. Again, this move could have a lot of potential synergy with other stones. Let me know what you think, if they should add more defensive mechanics to Rumble. I think in the current meta that seems to be the most lacking element, because everything is so focused around attack and pace, and also movement with dashes to get your positioning correct so you can attack better. I like to see that interplay between movement, attack, and defense. But right now, it's mostly just attack and a little bit of movement. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments.
If they made it multi-directional and stuff, yeah, I'd be okay with that actually.
Oh! Whoa! I slipped right under that.